Hi, I want to share with you today from the life of Mary, the mother of Jesus. As a teenager, an angel appeared to her and said, "Mary, you are going to have a son. Give him the name Jesus, for he will be called the Son of the Most High." Well, that was an amazing revelation to this young teenage girl. And then, when she became pregnant as a virgin, again she was aware of the miracle of God that was taking place and her participation in the fulfilling of God's purpose. Later, she gave birth to Jesus, and the shepherds came. They gave her a report saying that an angel had appeared to them and told them that her child was the Messiah, the Lord. Then, 8 days later, when they took Jesus to the temple for circumcision, Simeon met them and said, "This child is a child of destiny. He will be a light to the Gentiles." Well, with this information, all of these experiences taking place within the framework of a year, what did Mary do with this truth, this knowledge of who her son really was? Well, first of all, she didn't go out and tell all her friends. She didn't share the news with everybody in the market. But in Luke chapter 2 and verse 14, it says that she treasured up all these things and pondered them in her heart. These wonderful experiences, this revelation of truth, she hid dear and deep within herself, within her heart. To me, as I watched the response of this teenager to all of this miraculous activity, I see maturity. Certainly, treasuring up thoughts and insights within one's heart is a mark, a demonstration of maturity. I remember when I was a freshman in Bible school that one evening I knelt at my bedside to say my evening prayers before I tucked in for the night. And as I was praying, I had this vision. I saw a map of Africa, and up in the right-hand corner where Egypt is, there was a red dot. And that red dot moved down across the continent and stopped along the West African coast. Well, I wasn't familiar enough with the geography to know exactly what country that was. So the next morning, I went over to the library, got out an atlas, and checked to see where that red dot was, and it had stopped on the country of Nigeria. So I said to myself, "Lord, are you calling me to be a missionary in Nigeria, in the continent of Africa?" Well, I was wise enough to know that I couldn't base a lifetime call on a vision. So I began to do research on the country of Nigeria. A classmate of mine was a missionary's kid from Nigeria. I began to interact with him and learn all I could about the country of Nigeria. When I began my junior year, I shifted my Bible major to a missions major, and I knew with a certainty in my heart that missions and Africa was in my future. So as I dated my future wife, Maxine, we were engaged and we discussed this. Then we were married and began pastoring. And we decided that rather than tell everybody about this vision and our future involvement in missions, that we would just keep it in our hearts and give the Lord time to work out all the details and for us to meet the requirements for missionary service with our organization. Well, 3 years later, we applied for missions, and our pastoral friends, our family friends, they all said, "We didn't know that you wanted to be a missionary." We had treasured up this call, this revelation of the future. We had hid deep within our hearts. So I am convinced that a mark of maturity, a demonstration of maturity, is sharing treasured thoughts and insights at the right time and in the appropriate manner.